York is renowned for its historical charm, attracting millions of visitors each year. Managing such high numbers of tourists can be a demanding task for a city only 105 square miles in size.
Tourism to York's economy is very important. We have 7.1 million visitors a year, contributing £443 million, so it's very important. And tourism also supports 23,000 jobs in the city.
Tourism is vital for the local economy. Many small businesses on streets like this, the Shambles, rely heavily, if not solely, on revenue from tourists.
So we're right in the centre of York in King's Square, about 500 yards from the Minster, and we get a lot of kind of passing trade. We completely live off the tourist trade basically. If there was no such thing as tourists in York, then we wouldn't make any money at all.
We do rely on tourists a lot, obviously, from abroad and from home. Very positive impact for businesses and the city in general. It's nice that there's generally a buzz around York, especially in the nights of summer and Christmas, and good for business. Parking is awkward. I think lots of visitors have a big shock when they first come to pay for the parking. And I think the council could do more to help with this.
I think if you spend 4 hours parking fee, you need to be doing quite a lot in that 4 hours, and shopping is perhaps, in gift shops, low on the list.
With tourism playing such a significant key role in York's economy, visitor satisfaction is paramount.
I actually think it's tailored beautifully to tourists, which you would expect, I assume, but it's very clean, it's very friendly, everything's so very well located. I've been in many places across the country, and I've commented to my husband that I actually think this is one of the nicest places I've ever been in Britain.
Well, there's queues everywhere for the sightseeing. An extremely busy place at this time of year, particularly.
With such a booming tourism industry, York City Council has the responsibility of finding the best policies for achieving sustainable growth. Whilst revenue from increasing numbers of tourists is important to the city's economy, this must not come at the expense of York's rich heritage.
What I'd say we're involved in is the conservation of the heritage of the city, and we very much take the view that York is a living city, that it is the product of 2,000 years of almost continuous occupation, and that if York's going to be a successful city in the future, it's got to continue to change and grow. And so we are developing a heritage policy for the city, so that heritage isn't seen as something that is a cold hand preventing change taking place. We don't have a very large number of heritage assets for which we are directly responsible. The city walls is the biggest example of that, and so we spend on average between £100,000 and £200,000 a year. Actually, it achieves quite a lot in terms of ensuring that the city walls remain the iconic attraction that they are for the city. Clearly, 7 million people a year coming into the city imposes very large sort of stresses and strains. You know, you can see, you walk around the streets, there's a lot of people on the streets. We have a lot of issues around traffic and congestion. So, putting in methods which try and manage those tourists is really important. It's what sets York apart from Leeds and everywhere else.
The challenge facing York City Council is how to strike a balance between heritage, the environment and tourism.